dear President Jamini, dear Secretary Afzal, so dear ex-President Karachi Press Club Sarbazi, respected members of Karachi media community, thank you for providing me this opportunity to address on a very important issue here in the Press Club, Karachi. Today's event dedicated to our colleagues who sacrificed themselves while uncovering the truth. Not only did they brilliantly carry out their professional duty, but they also, whose portrait you can see, he was the first martyr for truth who was murdered in Ukraine after the West had provoked the Ukrainian conflict back in 2014. Since then, more than 60 people working for the Russian news agencies were killed by Kiev neo-Nazi junta. Some of them were murdered not just in combat zones, but also far away from the front lines, in the cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg. This year for journalists in history. As a result of various attacks and conflicts around the world, at least 124 media workers were killed that year. And Ukraine is not the only place where press staff die on a regular basis. For example, since 2023, 4 Al Jazeera journalists were murdered in Gaza by Israeli defense forces. We also see more and more instances of press restrictions. The most recent and outrageous wave of sanctions against free media was launched by German authorities, which continue to persecute and expel the Russian journalists. For this opportunity, I'd like to once again congratulate you in occasion of Pakistani Independence Day. Russia has always supported strong and sovereign Pakistan. This fact is proved by such projects as Karachi steel mills and Gudu power plant, which were built with the assistance of Soviet Union and were aimed at strengthening Pakistan's industrial and economic self-reliance. We adhere to the same principles in the field of mass media. Russia has never and will never dictate what you should write or speak about. We support your right for freedom of information and will never attempt to violate it. Thank you once again. Thank you for this nice opportunity to speak, and I'm ready to answer questions if you have some of them.
Question answer. Any question?
Pakistan steel will you say something about that? Are there any plans of providing that to among Pakistan?
Let's be very, very concrete. Now we have a lot of negotiations with Pakistani side about rebuilding of this factory. We haven't reached a final agreement, so please don't be in a hurry. As we do, we'll obviously inform you openly, and let's not create any gossips about this factory. The issue is not easy. We should agree on many, many things, because money is huge. The project is difficult, and we should understand how we can fix it in the interest of both countries. So it's not, I should repeat, it's not the time to say that we reached any agreement. But every day we are working on it, and working hard, not hardly, trust me. In Moscow, in Karachi, and in Islamabad. This is what I can say about Karachi steel mill issue.
Any other question?
Well, you just talked about the media men killed in the Russian war. There are so many journalists are being killed in Gaza by Israeli forces. So how do you see the situation, and what steps do you think that are necessary for press freedom?
The issue for the press freedom is to avoid double and triple standards. The Western organization should not follow their ideological issues, but they must pay attention on any violation of the information rights or the freedom of information. They should pay attention on every fact of assassinating journalists, not only Western journalists, but also Palestinian journalists, Arabian journalists, Russian journalists, and many other countries' journalists. We should forget that we are living in the Europe and Western world. We are living in the world where all countries, but this is the place where you can say the truth and tell the truth and do that. That we working with every government recognized by Pakistani people. If Pakistani people voted for the government, we are not Western countries who dictate you whom you should elect, why you should elect these people. They divide with this party. We are not working because they are against us. We are working with every government which was elected by the Pakistani people. This is the cornerstone of our relations with any country and with Pakistan also. We support and we can appreciate the Pakistani government position and the press position, because I'm reading a lot of newspapers and the very well balanced position on Russia issue and the situation around Russia. And we really appreciate, and of course in Moscow they know about it.
How do you see the future of Pak-Russia relationship? We are witnessing it from the Tsarist Russia, then the Soviet Union, and now the Russian Federation.
Step by step, we are working on that. That is why we're here. And just to remind you that I spent close to 9 years in Karachi. I'm a Karachi person. So that is why the future will be very bright, because we see the interest from the Pakistani government to work with us. Business is more slower than the Pakistani government, and business should be more active, but I'm not dictating them, so they know better what is in their own interest. But do not forget that we need a lot of Pakistani products. Firstly, we need agriculture stuff, because we are a northern country with a cold climate, and we can't cultivate vegetables and fruits the whole year. About 2/3 of my country is covered with snow temporarily. Can you imagine that? And in Moscow, the average temperature is not the plus. Just to remind you kind of about that. But trust me, every day I'm meeting my colleagues from Pakistani Foreign Office and other ministries, and I hope very soon you will see the fruits of our literal work. And what we're discussing now, very, very interesting for both countries. So do not forget that 2 years ago we launched, I would say, a very good project of St. Petersburg, Karachi direct ship line. And now the container goes in 18 days only between the two port cities. So that was very important for the trade. The trade is about $1 billion, close to $1 billion annually, the volume of trade. So we want to make it bigger, of course, and we have the potential to make it bigger. What difficulties I see? Pakistan does not support any sanctions against Russia, any illegal sanctions against Russia. But big companies, and especially banks of Pakistan, they are following these restrictions of the United States and Europe. They are afraid to work with us, unofficially. So they didn't show me any document that they are following sanctions, but they avoid having relations with us. So, but we cannot dictate private business. You see, if they see profit, they can start communicating with us and cooperating. If they do not see profit, so let them do what they want.
Are better for the future relation Pakistan and Russia?
Two very good questions. Thank you. So firstly, this year we invited 50 Pakistani students to study in our universities free of charge. Several hundreds of them going on the payment basis. They are paying for the ticket, but 50 people, they are going free of charge. And I received the information that they enlarge this quota. Next year, more people will go to study in Russian university free of cost. they shouldn't pay anything. So this is what, and of course, Karachi, especially Karachi, and will need a lot of specialists who know Russian language. Because if we sign, and if we reach an agreement, and we sign the agreement, a lot of people will receive working places in this Karachi Park Steel and other projects. So they need to know how to speak Russian. So we are thinking about organizing courses of Russian language. We have some universities. Pakistan is a fantastic place for film industry. There are so many fantastic places, historical places and nature places where we can make film. Very soon in October, the first group of journalists from Russian-owned TV channel would come if we receive all necessary agencies, of course. And they would like to make a documentary about Pakistan, especially about Karachi and some other areas, to show the historical places and nature and how people live. We have the same as National Geographic Channel in Russia. So there will be a big documentary about Pakistan. Last question. You are not allowed to kill all the villagers as a revenge. Of course, this act of terror was disgusting against the Israeli people. We cannot praise these terrorists who killed innocent people in Israel. But a reply of Israel was a war crime. You are not allowed to kill children, ladies, innocent elderly who are not involved in this terrorist activity. I'm absolutely sure that one day they will pay for their crimes. I'm absolutely sure. The world should not forget about these crimes. They have no right to do like that. This is my strict position, and I cannot not only support, I will condemn what they are doing here. This is my crystal clear answer.
I have a question about why Pakistan and China. And this time USA wants to do.
Thank you.
चैनल थिंक टीवी HD को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कर लें और बेल आइकन का बटन दबाएं ताकि हमारी नई आने वाली वीडियोस बर वक्त आप तक पहुंच सकें। शुक्रिया।